Video number 13, Saving Search Results. In video number 12, we saw how to save our search strategy. The search strategy was comprising all the steps that we took to do our search and to get our final results. Once we got those results, let us see how we can save those result items in PubMed. So we move on to saving search results. Let's again go online with the same topic. So obesity mesh and back pain etiology mesh, and this time I've got the original 117. I've not added a filter. Let's see what are the methods I can do to save these results. The options that we use are all here next to this send to. If I click here, we are seeing a number of options and we are going to learn some of these as only those are relevant to our context. We can save some of them into our computers as files. Some we can save as emails. Some we can save in my NCBI. So we are going to look at all these options. Now we can save all the 117 or select ones. Okay? We can keep looking at them and then selecting and finding out. Suppose I wanted to save all the 117 into my NCBI. I'll show you what we'll do. If we say send to, we would choose collections. It says add 117 items. If I say add to collections, it asks me, do I want to create a new collection or append to an existing collection? So suppose I'm doing it for the first time, I will say create a new collection. Again, we need to give a right name. So I again say obesity as a cause of back pain. I click save and all 117 items are in our collection. How do we go to it? We click my NCBI. So on the right, we saw saved searches. If we scroll down, we have collections, and the collections, what happens is the latest comes right at the bottom. So we have here obesity as a cause of back pain and all 117 are here. Let's say I want to delete this collection because I already have it. I don't want to keep this anymore. I'd go to manage collections, select it and delete the collection. Let's see what else we can do with this. Now we've done this 117, we've saved it. Remember, we also saved our search strategy. Suppose we had set up an email alert and let's say 1 month later in our mailbox we got 2 new items and we wanted to add those 2 as well. For now, let's imagine these were the 2 new items that came in our mailbox. So from our mailbox, how do we access PubMed? We get a link in our email saying view these results in PubMed. Once you click that link, you'll be brought to PubMed with only the 2 new items. So just for now, let's imagine these are the 2 new items. I would again say send to collections, add to items, add to collections. This time I'd have to keep the append to an existing collection. I'd come here and I'd come down to here. Here it is alphabetical, so I'd say obesity as a cause of back pain and click save. I'm not doing it now because it's not new and they are already there. So this is a method of storing your collections permanently. Of course, you can go into my NCBI and remove them at any time in case you don't need them anymore. This is the best way of storing your collections. Let's see other methods. I can say send to email. When I do that, let's see what options I get. Sorry, I need to get out of the 2 items there, so I will unselect them. and again say send to email. So it says 117 items. Again, we have an option of which format we want it, what sort by order we want, number to send. Whenever the number to send comes, it always shows the maximum as 200. Then we have our email ID in here, and again we can change this as maybe a shorter form or as obesity back pain, something like that, and say email. So when we do this, we get an email with all those results. Now, just a word of caution, in case you wish to send the email to somebody else, send it to yourself first and then forward the email, because sometimes the mails go into spam and your friend may not know that you have sent him or her an email. So it's always good to send it yourself. Check your spam folder in case it goes into spam, get it out into your inbox and then forward it. So, email, you can decide how many numbers you want. If you just want a sample of these, you could say number to send, I want only 50 of them. That's one way of choosing. Or you could select items that you want and only send those to email. That was the send to email option. Then I'm going to teach two more options which are send to file and send to clipboard. So first I'll do the send to clipboard. When, in what context is this useful? So let's say we have these 117 results. Let's say I had not sent them to my collections or email. I wanted to go through these and decide only select ones that I want to save. So one way I can do it is I've got these 117. Let's say I might display 50 in a page. So now I have only 3 pages to go through. So as I'm going through, I'm just going according to titles first. So maybe I choose this one. I don't choose the second. I choose the third. I keep scanning titles like this. I might choose one of these. So this way I'm scanning all 50 in this page. And then let's say I go to page 2. Again, I'm choosing some of them and then I do page 3. So let's say now here you can see I've selected 7, but let's say if I'd really selected some 73 items, I want to afterwards view them as abstracts and then make my final decision. What I'd do is I'd say send to clipboard, add 7 items to clipboard. This is like your shopping cart in the online shopping. So instead of the word shopping cart, you're seeing clipboard 7 items. So now we'll go and see only these 7, which in a real life context may be some 73. I have these. I want to view them all as abstracts. So I'm selecting the abstract format. So now I'm viewing them as abstract. I read the first one and I say, no, not really. I don't want this. So I say, remove from clipboard. So that one is gone. Now the second one becomes the first. I'm saying that one is fine. I go through some of them and maybe this one I'm saying I don't want. I say, remove from clipboard. All this is based on my reading the abstract and deciding whether I want to retain it or not. So from the 7, I've brought it down to 5, which could in reality be from 73, I brought it down to 57. This lot I want to actually save in my NCBI. Now I can say send to collections and all these can be added to my collections. If I had not stored all 117 in the first place, this would be a more sensible option if I want to select the ones I want after preliminary checking. Okay. Once I'm done, just like filters, it's important to remove all items from the clipboard. because otherwise, if you start doing some other topic, those also come in. Okay. I'm going to get the search back in the old method where I come here and obesity and back pain 117. So the last thing I want to show you is send to file. This is to make a regular computer file out of this, which is usually a text file. How do we do that? It says download 117 items, option, summary, text, or abstract text, or Medline or XML. There are these options. Here you're not going to see summary and abstract because these are text formats. So if you choose summary text, all 117 will come as bibliographic items. If you choose abstract text, it will come that way with abstracts. The Medline format is very important. If you choose this, all 117 will come in the tagged format that we saw earlier. And this is a file that you can later on import into any reference management software. The same thing is true for XML, which some softwares might ask for that. Most of them ask for some of these text formats. PMID list we've seen earlier. And the last is CSV. CSV stands for comma separated values, and that can be actually opened in Excel and viewed in Excel. That format is sometimes useful if you want to put a yes no against each for selection. So again, each of these depends on what format you want it in. The Medline format is the one that will be most often used for exporting and importing into a reference manager. The advantage of send to file is there is no maximum limit. Whatever numbers you have, even if it's in a few thousands, you can export or save all of them as a single file, which was not true in send to email or other options. So we saw the send to file options. I'll quickly just touch upon the other three. Send to order is about ordering full text, and that's useful only in the US. Send to my bibliography is really applicable when you have your own publications. You search by your name with author tag. Whatever results come, make sure they're all your publications or select the ones that are yours, and you can store it in my bibliography so that that can be exported in different ways. If anybody asks you for your publication list, that is always available. Send to citation manager is another export format, but the limitation is that the maximum you can send is 200. So we always recommend send to file and Medline for exporting results to import into a reference manager. So with that, we saw the different ways in which we could save your files, the actual articles that you need to be saved. Remember, for any of these options, you can do all 117 or select the ones you want and do it. So let's come back to our presentation and do a recap. What are the send to options? Inside file, we saw 6 options, and in that, the Medline option is the most useful for exporting to reference managers. The other options are to save in your local disk for further reading. Collections are the permanent storage. So it's as permanent as you want it. Till you go and delete a collection, your collection will always be there. So the first time you're saying send to collection, if you've set up email alerts, whenever you get an email alert, you want to add any of them, you remember you've got to go and say append to an existing collection. Send to email was an option. Remember, send it to yourself and then send it to anybody else if you need to. Send to clipboard is In case you want to make your decisions about how many to save in the collections, you start by sending items to Clipboard and then making your permanent list. This is just like using a shopping cart in online shopping. You add a whole lot of things, and before you check them out, you're selecting which ones to discard. It's the same logic. So these are the different options that you can use to save your selected search results or all your search results. In the previous video, we saw how to save a search strategy, which were the steps to do a search. In this, we saw once you got your results, how to save all or select items. Thank you. Happy saving of your work.